Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. Just been sitting here today, just reflecting on the past. It's been over a year since I've been out of Watchtower, and I've just been reflecting on the past year or so, and thinking about what's been a positive aspect about the year that I've come out of Watchtower, and because obviously when you've been in a cult and you've been in this kind of enclosed community and your whole life is entwined with all of the policies, doctrines, teachings, the people, you step out of that, there's like a massive gaping hole. So what's been good about having this great big vacant space? I would say for me the best thing is that I've just had time to think. I've had time to think, to ponder, to meditate, to ask questions, to research, to formulate opinions. I've just had the time to do that. Thinking back to when we were in Watchtower, guys, we were so busy, weren't we? I mean, I had a family, and so any of you out there that have got family responsibilities, you know that life is busy anyway when you've got kids and you've got a partner and just making ends meet and catering to everybody's needs. It is hectic anyway. Add into the mix Watchtower. We never had time for anything, did we? When my head used to hit the pillow at night, I was out like a light. Like literally every night I would be like itching to get to bed so that I can just switch off for a bit, get a rest, because I knew that tomorrow it all starts again. And this was years and years and years and years of going on like this. So yeah, having this time to think it's been fantastic. I'm so grateful for it. I remember, like, obviously when we were in Watchtower, you were never allowed to voice a different opinion on things like policy, doctrine, teaching, anything different, or even slightly, even if your ideas were slightly, say, out of the box from the general witnesses. If you ever voiced anything, mate, you would be shut down straight away. So we didn't ever voice those things. But I've got to say, for me, I never really had ideas and opinions like that, because I was just too busy. I didn't have time to think about questions and critical thinking and stuff like that. There was no time for it whatsoever. And that's how they get you. That is the exact thing. That's how they're keeping all these people trapped in the Watchtower. I'll never forget, we had an elder in our hall. Funny enough, when I started to kick up a stink about the child abuse policies, and obviously we'd had a paedophile in our own congregation, and this elder had been on his judicial committee and all that. Obviously, it was quite a scandalous situation, and then you had me stirring up and kicking up things. And so, yeah, this particular elder, Paul Gates, he at the time, he moved back to his old congregation, kind of like take himself out of the limelight. But I'll never forget when he was in the congregation, he used to like to give advice, and this piece of advice that he gave me, I did actually on numerous occasions hear him give this advice to the whole congregation from the platform. But one time he did speak with me, and because Nathan used to work on a Saturday, well, he's always worked on a Saturday, so the responsibility of getting the children up and out on a Saturday morning fell upon me, and yeah, I was pretty regular at being out. As my kids got older, they didn't want to go out as much, but I was always pretty regular on a Saturday morning. But I remember Paul saying to me once, he said, you want to take the thought process out of it. He said, on a Friday night, when you come back from, if you've been to work or whatever it is you've been busy doing on a Friday, if it's, you've been to work, you've been doing housework, whatever it is, he said, you don't want to sit down and think to yourself, am I going to go on service in the morning? He said, you don't want to do that. He said, you get back, you get home, you have your dinner. He said, you get your stuff ready for the morning, and you set your alarm, you get to bed at a reasonable time so that you can get a correct amount of sleep, so that you can wake up in the morning and go on service. If you have to think about doing these things, you won't go. He said, and on Saturday morning, when your alarm goes off, he said, if you think to yourself, am I going out today? He said, if you look out the window and think, what's the weather up to? He said, if you do these things, you won't go out. He said, me and Faye, he said, we don't discuss whether we're going out today or not, or whether we're going to go out in the morning. He said, we know we're going out. We don't even need to talk about it. So he said, so Saturday morning, the alarm goes off. You get yourself in the bathroom, you get yourself dressed, you get your breakfast, you get out on service. He said, take the thought process out of it. You want to get yourself on autopilot. And I heard him give that advice over the years a few times. And do you know what? It really, really works. It's working for all of them, millions of Jehovah's Witnesses that are doing that, because they're just mindlessly going through these motions so that they can try and tick the boxes of what they think is expected of them, in their kind of pursuit in earning their salvation. And it genuinely works, because when you're kept busy like that, you ain't even got time. Not that you haven't got time to do anything other, but you ain't even got time to think anything outside of what you're doing. So that's the reason why when you're seeing these car crashes, or when you're seeing people film the witnesses when they come to their door, or Kingdom Hall crashes or whatever, that's why the witnesses never really are able to explain or even understand a lot of their own basic doctrine, because they just ain't got the time for it. So the feeding program that they're on, it's not like when you're in Watchtower, you will sort of go off on a tangent of looking into the teachings, the policies. Maybe early on when you first, when I first had a study, I used to like to read the insight books and stuff like that. But there's such a heavy burden of pressure of what you've got to do. So in any given week, you will have the set Bible reading, and you will have to look up the gems that they've given you and ponder the points that they've formulated. You get the day's text every day with their comments, which are often totally unrelated to what the passage of scripture says itself. You're told what to meditate and ponder on. So there is absolutely no free thinking going on at all in any capacity. And I'm so grateful for this time that I've had out this year, that I've been able to just slow right down. I've not had to get to 2 meetings a week. I've not had to, have family worship. I've not had to get out more than once on field service. I've not had to prepare a presentation or prepare a talk for the meeting, or it's just been such a relief of burden, just a weight lifted off, and I'm so grateful for it. So I just thought I'd share that with you all today. And as usual, I send my love out to everybody. I know that a lot of people are really having a hard time since coming out, but try and find something that you can think to yourself has been a positive, even if it's just this release of the burden of things that you've got to keep doing all the time. And I've found that really helpful. So if that can be of help to anybody, then I'm happy about that. Send my love out to everybody. Hope you all have a good day, and take care. See you soon. Bye.